Hello, hello, what's going on everybody? Let me finish setting up this little stream and then we can jump right in. As you can see, we have a nice, beautiful new sphere here. So I figured we finished up our Goofy sculpt. Actually, I'll pull up the render for that so I can show the people who haven't seen him. And then I'm gonna start on something new today and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, hold on 1 minute and I'll say some more about that. Let me just make sure that this is casting. Oh, I found this new thing here. If you are, let me turn it on, let me see. So if you are watching on Twitch right now, you can join in on this. Oh God. Start. Let me get this set up. Bam. Cool, okay. We'll see if that works. So it's I found this little thing, it's called like Intro Fighters or something. It's pretty cool. I saw it on somebody else's stream and I was like, that looks like fun. I want to play around with that. All you have to do is say something in the Twitch chat and you'll get thrown in the thing automatically. So I'll say something really quick in the chat. I'm just making sure that the chat, or not the chat, but the stream is working. What's going on, Hud Boy? Welcome to the stream, my friend. But yeah, I think it's working. If we can get a couple people in the chat there. Okay, Katie and me are gonna duke it out. So this thing's so stupid. What's it called? Intro Fighters. Yeah, I thought it was kind of fun, and I figured we'd give it a shot here. Katie, you're kicking my butt. This sucks. Oh, come on. Come on, Pepe B, or whatever that is. I think I'm dead. I think I'm gonna get... Oh no. Oh wait, hold on. This is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm kind of excited. Okay, alright, Katie wins. That's fine. It's cool, it's whatever. What's going on, everybody? Lazy Fox, Azora, Geo, everybody. Let me pull up my other chat window so I can just see everybody here. Yeah, if you go over on the Twitch stream, Katie's just kind of punching my corpse right in front of my face. It's pretty rude. If you guys want to join in on that, all you have to do is type something in the chat and you can play. And everybody else, what's going on? Intro Fighter Z. Yeah, I think it's called like Intro Fighters. Yeah, definitely go join in. Join in on the fight, and then we can get into actually sculpting something really quick. Spent all day working on your Mantis Warrior. Oh man, that sounds like fun. I did see the sketch that you posted of it. I think that'll be a fun character. I don't know if you plan on modeling the entire thing or not. Oh, real quick here, guys. Since Katie's still duking out. Okay, we got Katie versus Geo. Oh, I thought Katie started with lower health. Okay. Alright, let me pull up my render from my Gooby Boy so I can show you guys the finished render here. I'll actually open up the Photoshop file. No, I won't. I can't find it. 1 second. Where is it? Bam. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, so here's the finished render for our Goofy Boy here. I rendered it in Keyshot, just kind of exported everything from Photoshop. I used a mixture of materials at first, but then I kind of just went back to my, I think it's like some hard plastic material. You can get kind of a nice like toy style render out of that. Composited a few different render passes, mainly some stuff for just a rim light and some ground shadows, but other than that, pretty simple stuff. Composited in Photoshop, set the background color, everything else, and just kind of highlighted some areas, added a slight gradient to the background, and that's about it. But yeah, he turned out pretty well, pretty good. I like him a lot. I had a lot of fun working on this sculpt. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but if you have not seen any of the process for this character and you would like to see it, you can go on my YouTube channel and there's a playlist with all the videos in it. A couple of them are on the Pixelogic ZBrush channel though, since I started streaming on there. So 2 of them are on there and then the rest are on my channel if you guys want to check that out later. I have been waiting for you, Anubis, and I haven't been paying attention to the fight. Pretzel Rock, my music app has joined the fight, so luckily they're getting their butt kicked. I think Katie's gonna win again. Katie's kind of the two-time champ, it looks like here. Anubis, yes, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, we'll let this fight. We'll let Katie destroy Geo here. Ooh, I don't know. Does he have a little bit of health left? Oh, had a little bit of fight left in him, but all right, I'm gonna kill that. That was pretty fun, actually. And then we can actually get started on sculpting. Okay, guys, let's get into this. So we're done with our Goofy boy, and it's Halloween, right? It's October, so Halloween's coming up. I thought we could do something a little Halloween-y themed. I was gonna start working on a witch character. I think a witch would be fun. Pretty much all I'm gonna do during our time together is hang out, answer questions, pretty chill as always, and just kind of start blocking out my character. It's gonna be really simple, all pretty much done with spheres. Thank you, Geo, for the follow there, appreciate it. But yeah, really simple stuff. We'll just go ahead and get into it. I'll be doing like low res dynameshes on all of these pieces, probably even lower than that at first. Well, see if we can get that to go lower. There we go. And then I'm just gonna start blocking things out. So for this whole period here of just blocking out, like I said, a witch character. So it's gonna be you know, basic human proportions, and I'm just gonna be using, for the most part, move brush and maybe a little bit of transpose to move stuff around. Really, that's about it. It's about like pretty much the entire process that I use here. I have some anatomical references up on my other monitor, but Twitch and YouTube and any streaming service, even if it's artistic nudity, is extremely tight about that kind of stuff. So I will not be pulling that up, but just know that I am using some reference, and that you should always use reference for this kind of stuff. Let's see. Came out really good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Lovecraft creature. Ooh, a Lovecraftian, like Cthulhu-esque type of character. That would be pretty sweet. I would like to see that. I lost my reference. Okay, here we go. What's going on, Argy boy? Can you please stream when you are rendering for this character after it's finished? So I didn't stream for my Goofy character. I mentioned, I think it was yesterday morning when I was streaming, that that would be a really bad idea, just because to render and do all that stuff in KeyShot, since it's a real-time rendering engine, it would be so slow and hard to work with. Unless we're like just working in performance mode the entire time, like that's not going to be very fun. Plus, during that time, there's like a lot of experimental things that I'm trying sometimes. I definitely did with my Goofy character, because I was having a lot of trouble with my ground shadows and stuff. So, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. For the... I won't say no outright, but I'll say most likely not. I would like to, it's just that like performance and everything else takes a huge hit when that happens. Okay, so the way I start blocking out, like I said, just super simple shapes, start figuring out a basic rib cage. When I'm at this stage, I'm hardly looking at my reference. Really what I'm trying to do is just get in some geometry to work with, and then I can start worrying about proportions. But at least in the beginning, I'm kind of just going off what I know in my head, and then from there, you guys saw me create the basic head shape, and then it's just duplicating geometry, moving it around, and playing with it, moving it all up and down and all around. So I'll kind of I guess, try to focus a little bit so we're not looking super wonky here. But don't be ashamed if your sculpt, your character, whatever you're working on, is looking really crappy in the beginning. Everything starts off looking really stupid and alien-like. Everything looks like an alien in the beginning. Let's insert a sphere. I like to use the IMM primitive brush a lot as well in this stage, just so I can insert geometry really quick. And then just like stretch this out, start getting a basic leg shape, and go from there. Typically when I'm working on legs, what I like to do is only work on one at a time, so not use symmetry. Just because if you look here and you have symmetry on and you start to move stuff towards the middle, it starts to get, and if you're trying to see in between your legs, it just gets really finicky and it's kind of hard to work with. So I prefer just doing it this way. It's just a lot easier in my opinion. I'll kind of do the same thing with the arms probably as well. Ooh, a Lovecraftian witch. That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what direction I'm gonna go with this yet. I have a couple ideas, but I guess we'll see how it develops. Blockout stage is the most fun. It's, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's the most fun, but it's definitely the most like mentally taxing. Just working on those early shapes. But like I said, right now, I'm not even, like when I started, I was so, like in this beginning portion of sculpting, I'd always be, I'm just gonna make this a cube. It'll be easier for a foot. I used to always be like so concerned about showing anybody anything in this stage, but if you, even in traditional sculpting, like everything starts off looking like a big old blob. It's like, it's not a big deal. Nobody cares. The only thing that matters is what your work looks like at the very end. I don't know why I was like so concerned with anybody seeing anything that I was working on. It's just like, it doesn't really matter. Here's another one of these awesome spam calls that tries to copy my phone number. It's always, I don't know if you guys get those, but I get spam calls that are like very similar to my phone number. It's pretty annoying. I do not like. Starting to get a little bit thick up here. I don't want to sit here and concern myself with, like I said, proportions too much, but at least a little bit. So what I'm thinking about when I'm doing this is I always start with my head as just a basic kind of sphere that I pull out a little bit to this kind of basic shape. So we have the skull here, and then the shelf of the face coming out on top of that. And then you want a little bit of this kind of like, oh, that's terrible, this like triangle coming out here to the nose. I have it pretty rounded right now. It's not, like I said, it's not detrimental to get all this stuff in. What you should be doing though is zooming out a lot, just looking at kind of things from a really big perspective, and then just trying to make, you know, large scale, as many large scale changes as you can. So this piece of geo is obviously way too thick. We can maybe start adding some of what will be the leg curve in there. It doesn't really matter, it's just a tube for now. We'll come back to it. But I will start, so I'll start with the head and then I'll go through just down all the way to the legs. And I'll try to do all that first, and then maybe I'll like reference proportions and just try to figure out where my pelvis needs to be hitting a little bit. Figure out everything else if I want to make the legs longer. Like I said, I don't really know like the age of this character or exactly what I'm going for quite yet. I'm thinking just like a younger witch. I was looking at some, I don't know if you guys have seen Little Witch Academia, but the characters in that are just so awesome. I love the character design of that show, of all the characters in that show. So I was looking at the main character Akko and Shiny Chariot. I was thinking, oh, they would be pretty cool to sculpt, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't decided on direction. I figured we'd just jump in and get into the polys and experiment, see what we can do. Make some cool stick figures out of clay, out of polys. Let's start putting in our arm up here. For the arm, I'll start by just doing a sphere, and then I'll like pull it out a little bit to make a kind of makeshift deltoid. And then start pulling out the top portion of the arm, bicep, tricep, all that good stuff, and then the forearm. So something simple, and then another piece of geo that we can just stretch with our transpose line. Sometimes I'll even just do the whole arm at once, kind of like this. Let's dynamesh that really low, and then you can add in your arm bend or whatever you want to do up here. So the point is just to keep things low poly at this stage and not worry about too much. Your major concern is proportions. Yeah, but even before that, I think you want to just try to get everything in there as quick as possible. You definitely want to get into proportions as fast as you can, but just I wouldn't worry too much when you're just trying to get the geometry in place. So like when you're sculpting a figure, you know, out of clay, let's talk traditional. You have to have the clay to work with first. So you just start globbing it on, right? And you want to focus on that in this stage as well, just getting everything in there, because what happens is if you start working on proportions in, let's say, just the head or just the chest alone by itself, and then you start to create other stuff, what happens is you'll start to notice more and more things are off. So what helps, or what is very helpful, is having as much stuff in there that you can reference against the rest of the sculpt. So having even some arms in there that can let you indicate maybe where your belly button and your hips are, swinging around from this angle. There are a lot of like proportional landmarks that you can learn, but all that stuff is very helpful, and that the arms, like the hand, should be able to essentially grab the pelvis. Lots of little tricks, but some of that's dependent on age, and some of these proportions will also be dependent on whether this is a male or female character, and also just kind of what type of like look I'm going for. I wanted to do maybe like a younger witch, like I said, and it is a witch, so it's going to be a female character. Let's probably just split off our leg as well. We'll split off our leg and our arm up there. Just dynamesh them. I'm as low as it'll go, or maybe even a little bit higher. It's on like 16 right now. I think 8 might be the lowest. I'm just cleaning up some edges, making sure that the geo's like not absolute, but I want to be able to work with it. Not have any open holes or weird like verts sticking out like that. So that stuff's kind of annoying, but we'll fix it all in good time. And then for the hands and feet, I'll just add like little blocks or spheres onto the end of there. So this is pretty much my entire like blockout process. If you guys have seen me start anything new, it's no matter what it is, no matter what the character is, it's always pretty much the same. So we got our kind of basic unproportioned armature now, and now it's time to line some things up. So I have an image, like I said, over on my other monitor that I can't pull over here because it's an anatomical reference, and I don't want to get any kind of strike or ban or anything. Maybe I can blur some stuff out in Photoshop really quick so that I can import it in here. That might work. Because what I like to do is use the spotlight tool and then I'll overlay my character so that I can measure up proportions without having to eyeball it, which is obviously a little bit more tough. Ooh, let's get in a neck before we just completely forget about that. I think it'll be cool as well. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this month. I still need to finish my domino character that I'm working on, if you guys have seen that. But I think it will be cool to just see this process from beginning to end here. And kind of line up some things a little bit there. It's feeling like it's leaning back some, so we'll tweak all this stuff. Let's see. Did you ever use the Draw with Jazza randomizer? I have not. I have not used that, but I do believe that I know what it is. I do know who Draw with Jazza is. Random attributes, random story, a brainstorming thing? I don't know. I would kind of prefer to pick what I'm going to be working on, but that's a good idea if you're having trouble coming up with stuff. Or you can just like roll it a few times to see if anything good comes up. What do you think if you don't tell people what you are sculpting and people try to guess? I mean, I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. But like, once I started in the very first stream that I did on the Pixelogic stream for this Goofy character that I was showing you guys that I just finished, after the very first stream, I mean, it looked like this. So if you couldn't guess that this is Goofy, then I don't know. Go back to Disney school. Like, I think everybody like Goofy's one of the most recognizable characters probably in the world. Do you have any suggestions to learn anatomy? Any books? Yeah, go to my website. There's a link in the top. Just go to Follygon.com. That's my website. There's a link that has all my gear, and I recommend a couple anatomy books in there. Check that out. Try to get some of the more basic shapes and proportions here. Again, just using the move brush and gunking some stuff around. Honestly, that's like 16 is almost too high poly for me down there. Too annoying to deal with right now, though. Trim up some stuff. Start working on this. We'll need to start sculpting in some booty meat back here. I'll pretty much just start doing like a kind of like it's kind of like sculpting underwear, I guess. I don't really know how to describe the basic shape. I'm gonna delete this arm over here because it's getting in the way, and I want to be able to see my silhouette. So just start by kind of pulling this out. You don't need to like get into sculpting a butt at this stage or anything like that. Just start kind of pushing and pulling stuff around. I'm not trying to focus on anything specific, really. I'm trying to jump around as much as I can. We'll have to mess with this rib shape quite a bit. Should be relatively flat. I do want to maybe try to get some planes in here. Not some airplanes, but some planes of the ribs. Start controlling our form a little bit more. And I'll just start like not dynameshing, but adding some subdivs, up-resing until I get to a point where I can start modifying some of that a little bit more easily. And just start hitting stuff at this stage with like my clay tubes brush, being pretty rough still, and just starting to build some stuff up. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll continue doing this for a while. I like to stay in this stage for as long as I can. within reason, of course, but the longer you stay in this blockout stage, focusing on proportions and everything else, the better your sculpt will be for it later down the chain. It's a Pikachu. Yes, this is my Pikachu sculpt. Hope you guys like it. I have done a really fat Pikachu in the past, which was pretty fun. A long time ago, though. Let's start just, I guess, remeshing these. These Dynameshes are kind of crappy. Just remesh a little bit lower. Start to pull in some forms. Just make things a little bit easier to work with. It's not very straight, that's okay. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it. Is there any way to make the gizmo work on an object after you mirror it without using it as an insert mesh brush? I don't know exactly what you mean. I believe the gizmo works on things after they are mirrored, right? Like that? What do you mean? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. But it works for me. It works for me on mirrored pieces. I don't know if you've asked, I don't know if I've ever asked this, but do you draw? Not very often, no, I don't. Spend all my time in the polys, sculpting away. Making my goofy goobers and such. So after I kind of get a basic shape here, I'm just trying to Z-remesh these super low. Essentially so that they retain their primary forms, yet just become a little bit easier to work with. Dynamesh at a really low resolution is great for keeping everything simple, but the forms are still kind of hard to manipulate just because the topology flow isn't great. At least with the Z-remesher, it will kind of do a pretty good job of figuring out what that basic shape needs to look like. And then from there, you know, start making more and more changes. I'll actually be hopping into T-pose mesh here in just a moment and making some changes in there. Actually, during this stage, I'll sometimes even merge stuff together and probably end up splitting it later, just because it makes it a little bit easier to work on these separation areas. So essentially what I want is, I have this separated just because I want to get the basic shape of the ribs, right? And then I can kind of flow the torso up into that, which is great. It's very helpful in that. But what you don't want to do is start breaking stuff up to the point where it feels kind of like an action figure. Really, this is just for the purpose of blocking out and making things easier on you. And if instead you're kind of blocking out or like breaking up all these different pieces, it just gets a little bit too much, a little bit too crazy. So I want to avoid that, but I do like me splitting things up quite a bit. I am a big proponent of the geometry splitting. Try to just get a basic shape up here for our neck, pull some things around. We'll work on that. But yeah, just kind of starting to round things out, clean up some of these forms. We'll keep going here and keep blocking stuff out. Maybe tweak our head shape a little bit, but really at this stage I don't like to look at my head too much. I pretty much just use it as a little bit of a proportional guide. So what I would like to do is go here, T-pose, and voila. We can now just a little bit easier work on things all together. Something that can be nice on occasion is turning on your topological masking with your brushes, and then you can work on things without having to mask everything at once. There's a Move Topological brush that you can try out. I don't really mind masking everything off, but sometimes this is just a little bit faster in this stage for just pushing and pulling things around. But you'll see here, oh no, it is affecting my chest a little bit. There is actually another option here where you can mask by polygroups, and depending on how high you turn that up, 100 is going to only affect the polygroup that you start selecting on. And this works for all your brushes, I believe. It does, yes. But yeah, there's a lot of options for kind of working this way. I don't mind, like I said, masking stuff off though, playing around this way. Should definitely make some tutorials on renderings and composition. I actually have before. And I'll pull it up since I haven't mentioned it this stream yet. My latest course, Sculpting a Stylized and Appealing Female Face. There's over 5 hours of footage in there, plus my keyshot render scene, environment, the lights are set up, materials, all sorts of awesome stuff, and I go through the entire process in that course for setting up how I do my renders in keyshot. But yeah, that's if that's something that you're really interested in, that's a good one. That's my most recent course. Ooh. Rendering is not advertised, so how would one know? So it's just like, that's the name of the course. The course is Sculpting. So I've been thinking about selling the rendering thing as a separate module as well, and just make that really cheap since it's something small and quick. I think it's maybe like an hour or two long. No, it's not two. It's definitely not two. It's maybe like an hour long of content, but it's something that I just included in there as part of the process because it made sense. But yeah, I was thinking about making that separate for people that just want that. I just haven't done that yet. So maybe, we'll see. I haven't heard like a huge crowd of people just clamoring for some tutorials and courses on how I do my renders. Personally, I don't think my renders are that great, and I really don't like rendering in keyshot that much at all. But it gets the job done, and I've kind of created a process at this point to where it's quite a bit easier for me now. Alright. Sometimes I'll do a cube for the hand, sometimes I'll do a sphere like this and just kind of, whoops, trim it up to whatever shape I need it to be. It really doesn't matter what you use as long as you can kind of get a basic shape for your palm and then one for your fingers as well. So proportionally, we're pretty far off right now. Start building up, whoops, some of this, and with some of this form. Remember the thing that I said that I kind of wanted to do in here was lean everything forward a bit, because it looked like it was about to tip over backwards, which the balance of your character from the profile is something that I see that gets off gets off balance like really early, and then people just kind of neglect it for the rest of their sculpt. So definitely pay attention to that in the beginning, and of course later on when you're getting into posing and everything else. Super important. That was weird. My transpose line broke. So really just kind of shaping up everything one line at a time, one brush stroke at a time. I try to get a little bit of a hit in the hips here, at least initially. And then, like I said, kind of a square shape for the butt in the beginning. And then we can add, you know, some more form as we go. I like to kind of keep it a little messy though. Rohit, nice to see you as well. Welcome. Let's go back to our subtools and just start combining some junk now. I'm gonna look at the legs here in a sec, but I'm just gonna keep working on these arms for a moment. See if we can blend between these areas a little bit better now that we've got just a little bit of the rhythm of that arm, and then just start working on some of these areas a little bit more. I like to use pinch for knees and elbows, especially in the early stages. It's very helpful for just figuring out that plane break. In terms of just like basic kind of shapes and rhythms of the arm, we're coming down from the deltoid, we get a little bit of a curve this way, and then the upper arm tends to bend in slightly. It's just kind of the way that the muscles flow. It creates this little bit of a look. You should be able to see the tricep a little bit from the front view, or depending on how you're looking at it in perspective, or how muscular the person is. The forearm is going to have a slight kind of curve, a little bit kind of back in towards the body. There's just like a lot of little stuff. I think arms are super tough and complicated. Almost unnecessarily so. But I don't know who you're gonna have to take that up with. Do you have any courses on articulations with Live Boolean? So I think you're talking about setting up articulations for joints for something like an action figure. I do not have any tutorials for that. There might be something on the Pixelogic site though. I do remember seeing something for that quite a long time ago. It's probably like an older video, but you can probably get some good info from that at least. I can't remember what their tutorials are called. There's a ton of stuff in there that people just completely neglect, and I think you should watch every, like no joke, every single video in their library there. It doesn't take that long. You can do it in a day or two if you want to break it up. But there's just like, even just little things or even deprecated pieces of the software, just knowing about them is extremely helpful, and I think important if you want to be able to use this tool efficiently. I'll try to do like a little plane break or something for the clavicles, but I'm trying not to look at my proportions right now, just so I can at least get a couple of these plane breaks in before I start getting distracted. Samuel, what's going on? And Goffy, Goffy was amazing. Goffy, Goobert, Goofy. Yeah, we were. I don't know if you saw the finished render. I was pulling it up before, but I have it right here. So yeah, he turned out pretty well. And for those that are new here popping in, this was our last character, good old Goof. But today we're starting something brand new, and look, we're in the alien stage. This is the fun part. Where people get to pop in for a minute or two and say, the hell is that? This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. Do you have any courses on how to make courses? Spinny face. No, I don't. I do not. Just get smart, get good. Get edumacated. Another thing I like to do, did I miss that? I like to put a center line on stuff like my chest, or my rib cage, and my torso, just so that I can see that center line, how that's breaking up. Need some more volume in a lot of these different areas. I'm gonna try to flatten that out some. Whoop. I'm also going to attempt to get some more arch in this back. And this is where you kind of have to just kind of understand what you're doing a little bit, because what happens is you're working on isolated parts, and I'm trying to focus right now. This is why I say try to get everything in there as quick as possible. I'm trying to focus in an isolated manner on this torso, right? But because a lot of other things are off by a lot, like the legs down here, it's causing some issues with just the way my torso is looking, just the way my character's reading as a whole. So a lot of things are off, but you kind of have to train yourself to get into a little bit of a tunnel vision like stage on purpose in certain areas, just so you can knock out some of those early problem areas without just getting caught up and jumping all around too much, which is kind of tough to do. I definitely struggle with it because I just want to move around and work on everything at once as quick as I can. Cool. Let's up our dino mesh. I think I've maybe sculpted like one dinosaur, but I need to sculpt another dinosaur so that I can make like some kind of dino mesh joke and win all the internet points. It'll be great. Got a little bit too tight for our kind of inner rib cage line there. Let's see. So the way these legs is working ain't working. Let's try to fix all this. Quite a lot to fix. Let's just move that foot out of the way, move this out of the way as well. Try to get a little bit of some shape language in here. Maybe chuck it over to the other side. I don't know why that happened. Mirror it. That mirror function is down in your deformation palette, by the way. Very helpful. Looking at volumes right now, trying to get a little bit of the just kind of hit that happens in your quad there. Guess we can mirror this back over too. And keep working on all this. Oh no! I have a presidential alert. I've never seen this one. This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed. Wow, that was... Guys, that was the highlight of my day. I keep my phone muted all the time. Except for... No, it is muted. Huh. I guess the president gets to make my phone vibrate no matter what. Omar, nice to see you again as well. Sorry I missed your message there. Andrew Price has a guide on making courses. That just seems kind of a little backwards. Bro, this is the reason I've been sticking with your stream for a year now. You do everything from scratch. Thanks for existing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't always do everything from scratch though. Like if I have something that I can use, I definitely like I have base meshes of other characters that I've done. I think I even have one on my Gumroad, but I don't know, like I learn a lot more by doing this, and I don't know, it's helpful for you guys, I think, to see this stuff. See these early stage doohickeys. Let's get wider here, quite a bit so. Yeah, but thank you, I appreciate it. Cool. Just kind of looking at proportions one step at a time. I try to do, I don't know, I guess it's just the way I sculpt, but if I'm doing something for like actual work, actual like production or anything, if I have something that I can start from, I will always, like, anything you can do to make that easier on yourself or shorter. When you're doing something for paid work, it is not the time to study. It's like, just get it done as quick as you possibly can. Just go, 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 go. We'll have to blend this a lot better because it looks like all this looks like poo, but this in particular looks like poo right now. Let's do... Sometimes I'll just like move the arm out and a little bit higher so that I can like temporarily connect it to the body and just make it a little bit easier on myself to kind of sculpt that connection. I don't know. I do everything almost completely different every time I do something new. So you can't mirror if you have subdivs, but you can subtool master mirror. I just don't want to take the time to let that calculate, and I'd rather just... It's not like I need my subdivs, not right now. And I can get them back. I can get them back with, what is it, reconstruct subdiv down here. It's not a big deal. Pretty simple to do. Looks like we got a few new people hanging out as well. Welcome, guys. We're starting from scritchety scratch, doing some jank here. Let's see. If you guys are watching on, oh no, I need to open it. Play. If you guys are watching on Twitch, we're gonna play a fun game real quick. We played one when we started, but I want to play another one, and just because I got my butt kicked in the last one. But this is a little game. It's called Intro Fighters. Just type something in the chat of Twitch. I'm gonna do it too, and then we can fight. We can fight it up. All right. Here we go. Alright, so I did this once before. I need just one more person to chat in there, and we can do it. I'm also gonna, while this is happening, oh, we have a 1v1 versus me and Chicken Hawk. Well, I'm gonna let Chicken Hawk get his butt kicked, and I'm gonna go turn down my AC really fast, and I'll be right back. It's like right here. Alright, who's winning? Oh, Chicken Hawk beat me? Oh, the Arg's got a spear, so he's kicking butt. Dude, spear OP, what the heck? That wasn't even fair. You don't have to type anything specific. You can just type whatever and it'll join you in there. This is a personal project. I wouldn't be streaming I wouldn't be streaming any work that was for a client. What's going on, V-Mate? How you doing, man? Let's see. Okay, we got Angry Monday joining us now. And Angry Monday is also... you guys need to gang up on the spear dude. Oh, Chicken Hawk down. Dude, how'd you get a spear, Arg? What the heck? I think you're the first one with a weapon so far. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Alright. We need somebody to take down Arg. Come on. We need somebody. We need a hero. Somebody else get a weapon in here. Rigged? Yeah. It feels like it. Oh, you're just kind of kicking. Now you're over top of me. That's not nice. Kicking butt here. Okay, who we got? Angry Monday. No, he's got a weapon again. Oh no. Dude, there's no way. Nobody can take him down. He's already got 2 wins under his belt. He's unstoppable. Okay, well, maybe this wasn't a good idea because now he's just gonna kick everybody's butt. Oh no. Oh, it's so close. I don't think the fist is strong enough to take down a spear. It's not fair. It's not fair, guys. Oh man. And why does it always have to cover up my face? It always... I don't know why. He always pushes him into the corner there. That's not cool. That's funny though. The Great Hunter. Alright, Hunter, we need you to we need a new hero here. Save us. Kick butt. Kick Arg's butt. 7 more chatters? That's gonna take forever. That's never gonna happen. Here, I'll join the fight, I guess. I'll try to get in here so you guys can beat up on me. Because God knows you want to. Alright, here we go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get my butt kicked. I'm ready. This will be the last fight after Arg is done humping whoever that was. History never remembers the losers, unfortunately, or I don't remember the losers. Yeah, he is a bit of a bully, isn't he? 6 more chatters. We need 6 more. Oh man, I don't think that's gonna happen. We might have to lower the count. I don't know how that counter works. Okay, we got 5 more. Need 5 more. It might lower itself. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we can get it. But yeah, this is a cool little tool. It's called Intro Fighters. I saw it the other day and I was like, I need to try this. And it is really fun. Or at least funny to watch people get destroyed. Arg, come on. Okay, I'm gonna restart it so that we can hopefully get some less fighter count there. Let's try one more. Last one. Alright, here we go. Start game. It's loading. Okay. Everybody get in, quick! Go, go, go! This is the last one. Ah! Go. Okay. We'll see if that goes through. Okay, this is me versus HUD Boy. This fight has been predicted in stone tablets for eons. How you doing, Hudman? If we can get more in, we'll do one more after this, since we only got 2 people in. And then that will be the last one, I promise. And now I can secretly work on my proportions in the background while I duke it out. Oh, dude, I'm kicking your butt. Hudman, you had this coming. I've been wanting to slap you around forever. Oh no. Let's see, what's wrong here? Gotta use this for proportions real quick. Chicken Hawk. Chicken Hawk's... Why is it... It's doing a lot of 1v1s. We need a big player count in here. Matthew, you just have to type something in the chat and then you'll get in. Chicken Hawk, what the... Man? A 1v1v1, so we got 3 now. Arg, Monday, and Chicken Hawk. Yeah, if you just type something in the chat, you'll get thrown into the pool of fighters here. I wrecked you in Smash 4. Yeah, that's why I had to get my my revenge. I don't remember if you wrecked me in Smash 4 or not. I don't even remember who I played in Smash 4. I think I played Ness a lot. But I moved on to Melee. I'm a cool Melee kid now. What's up? Yeah, I'm one of those. Alright, come on. Come on, Arg. Finish this popcorn. Okay, how big is the next fight gonna be? Okay, last one, Arg versus Matthew, since Matthew's finally got in here. This'll be it. Whoever wins this is the champion today. And it's pretty even. Oh, man. Oh, Matthew. Matthew's the latecomer. Arg has already had 1 fight. He's built up his fighting abilities. Oh. I'll join in here. I'll try to fight a little bit. Oh, it's not working. Oh man, somebody hit somebody. Come on. Ooh, Matthew. Matthew's dangerously low here. And that's it. That's it. That's all she wrote. Arg is our champ. He's our winner today. Alright. I will not allow you to just sit there and beat up on his corpse over and over again. You're out of here. Do that again in the next fight, I'm gonna have to kick you. It's pretty even. Yeah, I really don't remember, but play me in some Melee. We'll see what happens then. I'm just kidding. I don't even play anymore. The net play for Melee is pretty crappy as well. It's not very fun. It's very laggy. Very, very laggy. You're vomiting over everyone? Pooey Sack. Pooey Sack? That's a fun name. I'm gonna call you Poi Poi. I don't know if you guys remember that old PS1 game, Poi Poi. It was like a stupid arena fighter game. You have to type in the Twitch chat. So you have to be watching on Twitch and type in the chat there. But I put it away. I put our fight away for now. We'll do another fight later, but I'm gonna put this away and work on some stuff. Oh man, everybody just wants to get in on a fight. You guys are... I don't know what's going on here. I don't have symmetry on. We'll do another fight later. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to get in, probably, maybe. It'll be fine. Can't just fight this whole time. I know you guys have this bloodlust in you, but I have to wait. So I'm trying to get the rhythm of the legs right now. Kind of the rhythm of our character in general. There's a lot going on here that needs to be fixed quite a bit. Sometimes what I like to do when I'm in this early stage of just developing proportions is just try to like really over exaggerate some of these rhythms. Like in the arm, I'll try to really just like get some bend in here so we get some kind of curve, so that later when I start to build that up more, some of that will come through after I clean that up a lot. But at least in the beginning stages, it's kind of a hit or miss. It's like, as long as you build up the form later and knock some of that back, you should be fine. But it's definitely really easy to over-exaggerate that stuff and let it get too far. It gets out of hand really quick. Let's see. Matthew claims the cheater. Matthew, come on, man. Look, it was a fair fight. I saw the whole thing. He didn't even have a weapon this time, like before. When he had the weapon, he was definitely a cheater. That was not a fair fight. I agree with you there. I don't know how it decides who gets the weapon, but it's very much OP. I agree. Are you working from a concept? No, nope, not right now. Just have some references for anatomy up on my other monitor that I will not be pulling up just since it contains artistic nudity, and I don't want to put that on the stream and then get kicked off my own stream or get some kind of strike on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. That's never fun. So let's avoid that. I might, once I kind of decide a little bit more what this character is going to be, one of the things I like to do is, since I'm not referencing one specific character, I'll go into Photoshop and just like dump a bunch of images in there. I'll share that if I make one of those later. I kind of started to do that a little bit, but then I decided, let's just get in here and start sculpting, see where we can go, and then a little bit later, once I have a little bit more of a clear picture of where we're headed, I'll start to focus on that a little bit more. Cool. Well, trying to get some of this rib cage shape in here. I'm not going to add any breast or anything like that yet. Ah, man, I keep being stupid. I keep turning off my symmetry to make little tweaks and forgetting to turn it back on. Which is by definition stupid. Try to add up some form there. That's just adding a little bit too many striations. I'll just use my move brush and try to inflate some more around these different areas. So from the silhouette, I'm trying to get that nice curve. This ridge will be blended in later. It won't be as extreme as what I have now. So like I'll start to blend in the torso here that we have more. Start to build up some more form. Maybe getting a little bit too much. But all this stuff needs to work off of each other, so again, another reason why you want to get all those different parts in there as quick as you can, as early as you can. Matthew asks, what Cintiq do you have? I think this is the 27-inch. If you want to know the exact model, if you go to my website, Follygon.com, there's a link in the top right-hand corner of the screen that says gear, and all the stuff that I use is on there. But I think it's the 27. I'm not positive on that. Pull this in. I like to create this center line, but it's getting a little bit too deep, a little bit too out of hand. So move with backface masking to bring that back in. There won't even be a rib line back here. That'll be completely blended in. I'll also be, once I start to build up the form of my hips and butt a little bit more, I like to split that back off and play with that as a separate mesh. It's just a little bit easier to control everything. Especially when you have something so close, like legs or a butt or anything that would cross the X symmetry axis. it's a lot easier to only work on one half of that at a time. So what I would do is probably append a sphere or something back here, and then start working on just one of those. Whoops, wrong brush. Give me that sphere, or I guess not. So something like this, and then I'll just kind of move it into place. I pretty much use spheres for everything, so it's just an easier, it's just a good starting point, and then start to work on shaping that, pulling in form, and then go from there. And then later on, once I'm a lot happier with the shape, what you'll do is run a mirror and weld, and that'll give you, like, let me subdivide it a few times so you can see. If you mirror and weld that, you get a nice clean line between those two pieces. Or you don't even have to weld it, you can just mirror it by itself, and that's typically good enough. But yeah, we'll keep that separated. Or we won't even really think about it right now. It's just in the way. Oh, let a quick save happen here. Don't make the butt too sexy or you will be banned. I don't know about that. It's just a butt, right? I've made some butts before. I actually show off my gum road every time I go on stream, and I think that has boobs on it. Yeah, so there you go. That's fun. And I've sculpted butts on here before. So far, so good. I don't know exactly what the limits are of what you can and can't do, but I've seen plenty of artists do things a lot worse than what I've done. And I put worse in quotes because I think it's kind of stupid, some of the restrictions that are in place. But I guess they have to draw the line somewhere, and it's not my service, right? Shape up our neck. I've just been spending this whole time pushing and pulling garbage around. Some stuff's really dirty, like it's just a matter of not forgetting about that stuff later. I'll try to get like a little hip hit going on in there. I'll try to get some bony landmarks, but for the most part, you know, just try to get everything to reference, get everything in there and then reference one against the other. Because if I put a bony landmark in the wrong spot really early on, then it's not super helpful for me. I'll make an alien butt. I can't get banned for an alien butt. It'll be an alien witch. That'll be how I get around the whole system. So for proportions, my head, what I like to do is just draw a line down to my feet, try to put my pelvis like in the middle of that line, and then for everything else, I wanted to pull in a reference image, but like I said, artistic nudity and all that, so by the next stream what I'll do is I'll go into Photoshop and like blur out or paint out all the stuff that, all the naughties, all the naughty bits, and then use that as a reference so that I can actually show you guys and point at some things and reference it all at once. By that point we should be, we got a floater here. By that point we should be getting closer. We'll no longer kind of be in the blockout stage. We'll kind of be going a little bit more into what I would consider primary forms still, but just kind of getting everything into less geometrical, so we're no longer starting to see polys as much, and we're starting to really shape up those major forms. Yeah, we'll kind of continue on here on our on our journey, and I like to sculpt big butts, and I cannot lie. I'm into it. Like to sculpt? It's a little... wouldn't really fit with the song. Or you could just say, I sculpt big butts and I cannot lie. That would work. That would work. I'll just throw in a little sphere for the like basic area of the knee. Nothing super complicated, as with the rest of our character here. Well, bam. And just starting to plane off stuff like this connection, whoops, for our knee. So I'm using the trim dynamic brush to do that. And kind of moving everything around. Smooth brush a lot. Smooth brush is very helpful. Really don't like the shape of these legs in general up here. We'll get to it though. Start to get a slight buildup of form for the gastrocnemius or gastrocnemius, depending on who you are. I'll keep the little cube foot in here. And if you guys are feeling extra lazy, there's some free hands and feet that you can get off the internet or directly in ZBrush. I think there's it's an insert brush. It's an insert, what is it? Human parts, IMB parts. I think it's this. And you can grab an arm or a foot from in here. These are good bases, but anything other than that, I'm just gonna sculpt these from scratch, so I'm not gonna use these. But there's a individual foot or individual hand. I don't find them to be super helpful or super accurate, but obviously they're just low-res bases, so what can you expect, I guess? But still, you know, I think we're doing this for fun. This is just a personal project, so I might as well just do it all from scratch, right? I think it's more fun on the stream to see it develop over time. And it's not like we're gonna finish this character today, for sure. Like I said, depending on how much time we have on the stream, I don't know if we'll finish it this month. I would like to, because it's a witch. It's Halloween, right? Halloween's coming up. This is our spooky themed character for the year. Oh boy, all right. I'm gonna use my back face masking move brush here a little bit. Just so I can really get this front silhouette emphasized. Talking right here. I haven't been using perspective either, which is fine. It's a matter of preference, but you do want to, in general, I would say, kind of toggle that on and off quite often while you're working. Rotate. Come on. Starting to get a little bit too much lean back as well. So the more I've started to kind of play with and fix my legs, it's kind of thrown off our balance as a whole for our character. So that was a concern that we had before, and now it's starting to come back. Whoops. We will fix it though. You can, you know, either just rotate the whole thing at once in Transpose Master, or if you want, you can just do what I'm doing and move each piece separately. Transpose Master is probably a little bit faster if you have a lot of parts that you need to rotate at once, but in something like this, it's just like 2 or 3 things. It's not a big deal. Sculpt a little bit of a connection back here so we can start getting that to slot in. If you were, I believe it was it Arg? Who was asking about the articulation for joints? You can actually get the anatomy, so like if we're talking specifically about creating joints for legs, if you wanted to do some articulation down here, there's actually just anatomically a little bit of a slot in there for the gastrocnemius kind of flowing up between your hamstrings up here. And it's actually pretty cool. I would look at some anatomy, and it can kind of help you inform, or look at some toys for some different like clevis shapes for knees. There's some really interesting stuff that I've seen before. You might be able to find even an articulated anatomy model that has like joints down here. That would be pretty sweet. And I bet they did it this exact way. Like I bet they used the muscles of the hamstrings to kind of blend into the lower leg there. I do remember. I think there's like a Figma that's an anatomy model. I can't remember. I really like Figmas though. I don't have any. I really want one. Figmas are super cool. There's also Figure Arts though, if you're looking for some more reference. He's going the distance. Going for speed. Sneeman, what's going on? Can you give me a feedback to my works on Instagram? I'll take a look at them for sure. I don't know how much feedback I'll be able to give you, but if you want to do something that's a little bit more professional, get some professional feedback, something in-depth, like a one-on-one mentorship, I offer that on my Gumroad, and there's a link below for that, but it's just the mentorship right here. It's a 1-hour session. As you just mentioned, it's the thing that I get asked about all the time. But yes, we just entered into a new month, and all the schedule is free. So we are, not all the schedule, but the schedule has freed up quite a bit now. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. But I'll definitely look at the link. Not right now. I never click a link on stream. That's not true. You guys could put anything in the chat, and I'd be like, sure, let's check it out, guys. No, that's not exactly true. But it does look like an Instagram link, so that feels pretty safe. But I don't know, I've seen some weird stuff on Instagram. I don't know about you guys. Some things that, like, you don't know how they exist on Instagram. Like, I'm pretty sure Instagram's really strict. Isn't Instagram really strict about, like, nudity as well, even if it's artistic nudity? It has to be, right? Because Facebook owns Instagram? I would think so. I would think that it would have to be pretty strict. So I'm just using my pinch brush to define plane changes here. Kind of like an underwear line, tum line, a little bit of like some muscle plane changes happening there, just a tad. It's nothing super specific. I'm already like a pretty slow sculptor in my opinion. Maybe not the slowest for sure, but I like to take my time with stuff, and especially when I'm streaming and talking at the same time, I'm even slower. So I apologize for taking, you know, a long time here, but I think it's important to also take a long time in these early stages. Later on, once you got the hard stuff out of the way, proportionally, it's a lot easier to just kind of go ham. But right now, we gotta really get in here and try to think and talk at the same time. I'm trying to think. I have my quads, or my calves, going the wrong way. If you're looking straight on at some calves, your gastrocnemius muscles, there's two of them back here. the higher head of the outside, or the outside of that should have a higher hit than the inside. So we'll try to switch that up a little bit here. Start to sculpt in some extra form. Move this up. Got that bending back pretty strongly. And if I just need to thicken things up a little bit, I'll just use the move back face mask, just like I did there. I find that to be a pretty good way of going about it. And in this stage, perspective doesn't really do much for me. So, especially when I'm working orthographically like this, I need to turn it off and back on a lot. What do we got here? I hope it's not stupid like DeviantArt nudity. I don't even know what that means, but DeviantArt, oh man, DeviantArt. What can I say about DeviantArt? Probably too much. Always gotta look elsewhere for full body ref. Oh yeah, definitely find, if you're looking for anatomical reference, 3DSK, I think that's a free resource. I can't remember if 3DSK is free. There's like some really good anatomy references online though. You can find lots of stuff. Nudity on Instagram depends on if the people looking at it report it. Yeah, I guess that's true as well. I think Facebook has like auto-detect nipple. I don't know if that's true. It'll stay up 90% of the time if nobody reports it. So yeah, maybe on Facebook it's the same kind of deal, reporty system. I don't really know, nor do I care. I think they're kind of dumb with how strict they are. But like I said, they have to draw the line somewhere. If they don't, Facebook just becomes like a porn website. Maybe not to that degree, but you get what I'm saying. Try to get some plane change. I don't normally sculpt directly on this. Normally I use my extra mesh here, but I don't know. We're trying something new, I guess. See how it goes. I will split this off eventually, though. I'm sure of it. A little bit of, what is that, clay tubes? Clay buildup is pretty good as well. Any of the clay brushes really work fine for this kind of building up of form. And then, let's just delete that. Are my knees okay? My knees have moved. Or everything else has moved. My knees need to move. A little knee mesh in here. We can soften these up if we want. And I'm gonna delete this here. So here's like our older mesh, but when was this? Let's see. How long have we been streaming, guys? What are we at right now? We're at an hour and 20-ish minutes. Probably about an hour of that actually sculpting, but also talking at the same time. So started off making just a bunch of garbage stick together so that we can get all that, and we're getting closer, just kind of refining one step at a time, but it's good to always look back at that old stuff. And it's really good to take your time. There's no rush. It's not a race. Unless, of course, you're doing like the Sculpt Off challenge or something like that, then sometimes it is a race. Let's see. At least they did ban nudity in bathrooms. 3DSK has some free stuff. I believe it does. But yeah, I don't think it's super expensive. There are some really expensive resources out there. Most of your work would print nicely. That's because I have a background in doing printing for RPs, for toys, and for milling and setting stuff up for life-size figures and all sorts of that jazz. But yeah, that's my professional background. So that's why all of my, if you look through all my work, and I have a bunch of 3D prints back here on my desk from my 3D Fusion series, which I was thinking about maybe continuing. If you guys wanted to see some more fusions, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really decided yet. I'd like put a ton of work into those videos and those prints, and they also, you know, cost money to produce and get printed, and it just wasn't really worth the time that I put into them. But I really enjoy making them, so it's kind of worth the trade-off in that respect, in my opinion at least. Some of you might not think so. I haven't even decided what I'm going to do with the face of this character. Like, proportionally, eye size, giant anime eyes, closer to my Domino character. I'm actually going to open that up so I can show you guys this character that I'm working on. I'll also open up Gooby here, since I got him. Got him close by. Looks like there's some other new people popping in. So there's Gooby. I'll leave him up for just a moment. There's his final render. And where is... Let me find my Domino real quick. Here it is. This should be the most up-to-date one. Oh no, you know, laggy. I'm gonna delete the goofster. So this was our character that we were working on stream for the last time yesterday, and then I did that render that I just showed you guys. So very stylized, pushed very far. This is also stylized and pushed very far, but I'm not done with this one yet. I need to fix the hair and make some more changes to that area. But she's very close to being finished. I'm really happy with her. I like this character a lot. But yeah, there's just like a few things in the hair, and I didn't want to do them on stream because I thought it would be really boring. And I don't really know what all I'm going to do with the hair. I kind of want to experiment with it and play with it a little bit off stream. And then I'll probably render this and call her done. But yeah, that's her. That's kind of the stage that, the level that we're going to get this to. We're in the very early stages of this, so we'll get it up to here eventually. It's not going to, we're not doing Domino again. Like I said, I want to do like a witch-like character or something. So there's just another couple characters, our last couple characters that we did here on stream. The Domino one I didn't work on stream for the entire thing though. The Goofy boy I did pretty much the whole time. And let's see. All looks great, thank you, appreciate it. The fusions were awesome, love to see that come back. And thank you, appreciate it, man. Which render engine do you use? I render here in ZBrush, and I also render some longer render stuff in Keyshot. Somebody was asking me about that as well. My most recent course on my Gumroad goes through my entire render process and even includes my render scene. And like I said earlier, I might make that like a separate thing so that you guys, if anybody just wants that they can get it. I thought about that at first, but I kind of got preoccupied with other things, I guess. A little bit of pinch in our chesticles, as we know and love them to be called. And a thing I like to do once I'm a little bit happier with a shape is I like to polygroup some areas to create plane changes. Something like that. Maybe up here as well. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that up there. And then after you polygroup it, you can Z-remesh it with keep groups on. I'll try that resolution. But then with that, it'll help the edge flow along that area there where I made those two groups. And then you can just tweak it at a lower res, and it's a little bit easier to modify. And if you have geometry that's just in the way, it's really easy to delete it, like this. So that's the delete edge loop function in the ZModeler brush. And sometimes your edge flow isn't that great, so you can't just delete edges like I'm doing right now. So you might have to try your polygroups a couple times just to get them in a good place. And if that edge is too soft down here, I could bevel it, I could crease it, I could do all sorts of things. So a crease is gonna make a really hard edge like this, but a bevel, depending on how tight I make it, will make a softer transition like this. So it's kind of like it's creased, but not exactly. It's a little bit softer there. Let's go into Transpose Master and look at some stuff proportionally from the side view. And while I'm looking at some proportions here in the side view, I need to fix a lot of things. Let's do another brawl. Alright. If you guys are over on Twitch, you can play. But if you're not, go join up on the Twitch channel. All you have to do is type something in chat. It's really easy. And it is starting now. And I'll let that run while you guys duke it out. Alright, I want to see Arg back in here if he's around, because he's the previous champ from the last fight. But all you have to do, go into the Twitch chat and type anything and it'll join you in. Matthew, he's going for it. Alright. See if anybody can beat Matthew. Alright, I have my reference pulled up, so you guys fight nice. I don't want to see any black eyes. Nothing like that. Keep it PG. No bloodshed. I don't want to see. I know somebody had a weapon last time. Let's see. Anubis. Anubis and Matthew are duking it out. Don't die me. Oh man. See, I say I'm going to look at my reference here, but now I just want to watch the fight. It's very close. Oh, Anubis. Matthew, that's I think that's twice now, man, that you got You just like barely lost. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had that one. You'll win one eventually. Anubis. So excited. Yes, I won. I kicked butt. Anubis, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you and your fighting skills. I didn't know you were so very talented. I'm big anime titty fighter. What did I miss? Oh, there you go. What character is that? I can't even... I don't know what character that's supposed to be. I don't recognize it. Does it work based on how much you spam? No, unfortunately, it does not. We need one more person in the chat, though, for the next fight. I don't think you can control it. I think it's just, it comes down to fate. There might be some secrets, some secret fighting techniques. I can't tell you that. I can't reveal. I don't think there is. Your character won't stop beating up your opponent. Yeah, that happens. It's not very nice. Did the next fight start? Am I missing it? Somebody needs to get in and kill Anubis. We'll see. Oh, the music app is in the fight. You guys got to take down Pretzel. Oh man, HUD boy, you're getting. Oh no, you're getting pummeled, man. Pretzel might win this whole fight. I would hope that is not the case. That would be embarrassing. Ooh, HUD, how did you come out on top? Oh wait, it's actually really close. Oh. Oh, okay, good. Somebody beat the Pretzel app. I'm gonna say. HUD and Anubis. Alright, alright. This will be a good one. Nobody's gotten a weapon. I don't know what's going on. Alright. Reference time, guys. Reference time. You guys duke it out. I gotta focus. I gotta do things. I gotta do work. It's not all fun and games, alright? Sometimes it is. The fight is so intense. No, I'm not looking. I'm not watching the fight. You can't convince me to look. I am looking at my reference, being a good sculptor boy. He does too much damage. Okay, alright, I'll look really quick. Oh, Anubis won. Anubis won. Alright, that one's waiting for 9 more chatters. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. I might change that. Fatality. I'll just let you kind of beat up on him for a little bit while I do some sculpting here. Being a little bit weird there. There's a lot of things that need to change in this. And like I said, normally what I would do is pull over like a spotlight image and go off of that. But because of that reference containing artistic nudity, I can't do that right now. What I should have done is just gone into Photoshop and like blurred out junk. I know sometimes even when you do that, they're like super finicky about that stuff, but we'll see. I'll fix it before the next stream. I just don't want to do it right now in the middle of the stream. Too brute. Let's see. 8 more chatters. I'll join up. I'll get in here just so we can maybe get closer. Let's see. Where's the chat here? I'll try to join in with an A. All right, let's see, we need how many more? 6 more? All right, we need 6 people to get into chat right now on Twitch and just type anything. It doesn't matter what you type. Just type something and you can join in on the fight. See if we can get 6 people. Because then, I think it was looking for like 9 total, I think it said. I don't remember. But we'll let Anubis kind of sit there and beat up on, who was that? Was that Matthew this time? I didn't see. Maybe it was HUD Boy. We'll let him continue to beat up on someone until we get those 5 extra fighters. Because then that'll be a huge fight. And that'll be a lot of fun. 5 more left, come on! We need him. I think we can do it. Oh no, I think I closed my chat on accident. Alright, 4 more chatters, there we go. There we go, come on. There's 4 more, we can do it. I want to see this. 3 more. Asadana's here. Heck yeah. Alright, we can do this, come on, 3 more. Oh man, I want to see this fight. Let's go, let's duke it out. I think I'm in this one. I should be. 3 more chatters. Yes, we are so close. Come on, I know there's people. I know you're watching. Get in there. Get in this fight. We need more souls. What is this? Dark Souls? I didn't say anything. What, who said that? 3 more. I'm not putting it away until we get this massive fight going down. I need this. I need this massive fight. Oh, we can do it. We got those last couple really fast. The crash of the video game market. We need more souls. I have not seen this old video. 2 more. 2 more. D Studio. 1 more, Ariel. I'm risking my phone battery for this. Oh, come on, 1 more person, please. Come on, we need this fight. The epic fight. The decline of video gaming, I'll have to check it out. Alright. Who was the last hero? Ariel was one of the last ones to get in there. Thank you, Ariel, for risking your phone battery. Oh. The last one will be good. Who's it gonna be? Alright, let's remesh here, or go back to subtools and then remesh. And there we go. I'll keep tweaking this face for a little. 1 last minute. I don't know. I don't know if I'm in this one or not. Let me see if it added me. I'll just type gibberish. Some gibberish. I don't think that's how you spell gibberish. Oh, okay, here we go. This is it. This is the last fight. I am in this one. Alright. Ariel, you took a big hit there. Angry Monday's got a freaking polearm or axe or something. Oh no. Okay, we got 2, 3 down already. 4 down. HUD Boy's about to go too. Am I dead? Oh, I died already. Oh no. This is the biggest one we've had so far. Oh, it's so close. Angry Monday's got the weapon. I feel like a freaking announcer here. Asadana's coming up in the DD Studio, dead. Asadana. Wow, who had the weapon there? I thought Asadana had the weapon there. Alright. You stand atop your your bodies of your fallen victims here. It was a good fight. That was the biggest one we've had so far. How many people were there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? 10 people there? That was a good one. Alright. I'm closing the fight because there's absolutely no way we'll get 22 people. That was good. That was a good one. Yeah, we did it, Reddit. We got it to the front page of Reddit. Oh my god. That was a battle royale. Everything's a battle royale now, guys. Even Twitch is a battle royale. There can be only one. So now that we're done with our huge epic fight, thank you everybody for joining in that. That was a lot of fun. Now we could get back to sculpting things. I was kind of sculpting here while that was going on a little bit. I had to watch the brawl though. Right now I'm just kind of blocking in some stuff on the face. I don't know. Really just kind of looking at major proportions right now. And when you do that, it's typically gonna look a little bit more masculine than what you want. So it's not a big deal. I'll kind of soften some forms later on to get some of that feminine shape back, but at least just initially start blocking out your jawline. I like to use the pinch brush. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it though. Maybe a MAH cut. All sorts of good stuff. That was a close fight though. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us for our fight. It was a lot of fun. Asa Anima is crowned the king for tonight, or for today. Next stream we'll have to crown a new ruler. You don't think women always have to be soft? No, definitely not. There's some thorny ladies out there. In general though, just like a jawline, the way I'm blocking this out, this super hard edge, I will soften that quite a bit later. I would soften it on a masculine character as well. But what I mean by soft, a little gnat flying around me, I just mean stuff like really plainer lines like this. So I'm not just talking about like just how soft the lady is or person. It also has to do with a lot of these shapes. Like in the nose, the lines can get really strong. You want to avoid that. Avoid anything that is just gonna kind of look a little robotic here. But at least initially I like to do these really hard lines because it helps me plane out the face. Stupid gnat. There was a gnat in here the other day and I ninja killed it on stream. I was kind of proud. I like Jackie Chan clapped it. Anubis was the king of 1v1. 1v1 me, bro. Come on. That wasn't a fair fight. 1v1 me. That's true, but that was a battle. That last one was the war. That was the one that counted. So you may have won the battle, but you did not win the big war at the end. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. You mad, bro? 1v1 me. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, let's get a Dynamesh in here. Then work on the plane under the nose. Kind of pinch in some as well. So I have this line coming down for essentially where my lips will be. Running up through the face. And I want to pull the line of the eyes down. I don't want a really strong ridge for my brow, but initially I will keep a really strong line in there. This is going to be a pretty stylized character, I have a feeling, just based on all the stuff that I typically sculpt. Pen or something's freaking out here, being weird. I did not get it. Thought I did. So this is going to be a pretty stylized character, like I was just saying. Pretty much everything I do ends up going that route one way or another. So what I'm going to focus on is just getting these really nice flowing lines right now. Get a nice kind of curvature for the eye line for our eyes to sit upon. And then kind of go from there. Start making more and more changes. Have you tried the Wacom tablets that don't have a screen? Yeah, just like a little graphics, or not a graphics tablet, but just a pen and tablet. Yeah, that's how I started out. Yes, it is a good place to start. The first tablet I had was a Wacom bamboo tablet. I recommend those a lot. They're really cheap and they work well. But if you have the money to spend on an Intuos tablet, which are a little bit more expensive, I would recommend getting an Intuos. I know people that prefer Intuos over using a graphics tablet like I do. So definitely get one of those if you can. I think they're really cool and they will last you forever. Yeah, some pro sculpt. Yeah, there's a lot of people that, like I said, prefer the just pen and tablet. Yeah, if you have the ability to try both, not everybody does. But yeah, if you can try both, go for it. See what you like more. Obviously, one option is quite a bit more expensive than the other. There's benefits of both, though. Using a pen and tablet, I think it's physically just like less demanding. I have to keep my arm up in the air all day, which might be a minor thing for you, but you would be surprised by how tired your arm can actually get. And look, I know I don't get out a lot, but I'm not like super out of shape or anything. And my arm can get tired from time to time. If I've been sculpting like all week long, you're getting in there on like the 4th day of sculpting all day, it's like, you know, my arm's got a nice desk here so I can somewhat rest it, but it can get tiring. And there's just like a lot less movement you have to make on a pen tablet, which is why like some people prefer those. This is all 1-to-1, so you know I'm typically not touching my Cintiq up here very often, but you can remap your Intuos if you want to work on it in like a particular area because you're like scratching up the surface. I don't really press very hard on my screen either way, so I don't really scratch anything up. Occasionally my pen nib wears down, but really that's about it. That doesn't happen very often. Alright. So just defining planes. That's all we're doing here. We can even ZBrush and maybe make it a little bit easier to work with. Oh, not everybody enjoys the screen as well. Yeah, I think that's what kind of everybody was saying there. A little bit high on the res. Probably go a little bit lower. On stylized characters, as it, whoops, my mask went away. As it starts to flow back to the jaw, I try to pull that the bottom portion of the jawline in more, so you get a little bit of that anime head feel, to where you're not seeing this back corner from the front view. If you can get that, it's a really confusing form, but if you can get it, it can help a lot. with lending towards that appealing kind of anime-ish type head. Or I would say more like a Disney style head. But that's just one part of the face. You know, there's a lot that you can do or not do to push it further in that direction or away from that direction. Welcome to the stream. There's no concept for what I'm working on right now. We're just kind of blocking stuff out. I wanted to make a witch for October, so now I'm just in these early stages of blocking some stuff. Blocking in? Blocking out? I don't really... It doesn't matter. That's what we're doing. So we're just kind of going crazy. If you saw the last character I was working on, we definitely went off of a very strict concept there. That was Goofy, which I've hidden somewhere. Good old Goobert here. I just rendered this last night and composited it. That's a fun string of words to say. And yeah, he turned out really well. I like him a lot. He was really fun to work on. He's like pushed super far, so we're in the really early stages of I'm just gonna keep that open. I'm doing a new character. So here we are. New character ahoy. We'll see what direction it ends up going. But definitely feeling, if not a witch, at least something spoopy for Halloween, for October. Maybe a Zambo, maybe a zombie witch, maybe a vampire. I don't know. Salt Acme, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Make a zombitch, we could do that. Make a Boosette, says Kion Games. Kion Games. I think somebody else has already... I think that one's kind of dying out. The Bowsette, Boozette. That name doesn't even make sense because the et part of that name is from Toadette, because Toadette originally put on the crown and became Peach. Toadette, Peachette. And then somehow instead of, like, I don't know how it became Bowsette. Somebody got some wires crossed along the way. But also, I don't really, and I'm not a huge fan of trying to jump on the bandwagon for that kind of stuff. I have done some things in the past. I can't really think of like any popular media thing that I've done right now, but I don't know. It's just like the popular thing to draw on Twitter right now. Plus, it would take me a long time to sculpt something that I would feel okay about posting. I'll probably just leave that for now and work on some more stuff. Let's get a quick save in here. Rustlin, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Just put the kids to sleep. Got some time to hang out. Awesome, awesome. Well, I don't know. Let's see here. Cheap tablet's pretty nice. Pretty noticeable gap between the actual display and the point where the tip of your stylus touches the glass. Yeah, that doesn't really exist here on the Cintiq. There is definitely a gap, but it's not noticeable. Yeah, it's more natural. It has a smaller gap. Nail hammer. They announced Peachette in the release of Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Peachette is going to be in Super Smash Bros.? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, we gotta fix a lot of stuff here, guys. Let's remesh and get rid of those crappy polygroups and make some new ones. Whoa. I'll probably redo my my deltoid as well, but this will get us to an easier, a more workable stage. Let's hide our head so that I can see top down. Perspective off, please. Widen that out a little bit. Maybe not. So for my ribs, I kind of want pretty much just a straight line. At least right now I do. Because I'm kind of trying to make this girl look younger, so I want her to be proportioned as such. Kind of looking at, not younger, but like a younger or smaller, either or. I don't know, I haven't decided. But I don't want her to be extremely curvy or anything like that. How am I gonna do this deltoid? Some things I've done in the past to create the shoulder girdle area, just because the shoulder girdle area is kind of tough to mess with. Look at this sexy butt, guys, that we just completely neglected. Isn't that fun? Let's try this. Let's try duplicating our arms and merging some stuff together to create, like, I'll show you. We'll try to do it here. So let me duplicate this as well. Delete lower, delete you, or cut a little bit better. Just trying to slice this up. Something like that, and then just Dynamesh it together. And then work on merging some stuff, closing some gaps, and just filling in some extra Gia where we need it. Blending, all that good jazz. Let's drop down, lower poly count. So all of this for this shoulder girdle area, which is pretty tough in my opinion to at least initially start shaping. And anything you can do to make that easier for you, in my opinion, definitely do it. Nintendo crossed some wires since they announced Peachette when you get the crown in the release of the new Super Mario Bros. Wii U. Oh, Mario Bros. Wii U. Super Smash Brothers Wii U. Oh, I see. I see. I understand now. Patrick, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. I feel bad for everybody that's popping in here late because everybody else missed the our fight scene. I have it closed right now. Maybe we'll do... Maybe we will do one more. No promises. But we've already kind of crowned our victor for tonight. So I would feel bad, you know, making him defend his title here. And then what I'll do after I start blocking out that area for the shoulder girdle is I'll just like come up here and probably taper this stuff in, smooth it out. And then I'll fit that up in underneath the deltoid here as I start to shape that a little bit more. Let's not dynamesh that again. I love dynamesh, but sometimes it's just annoying and tough to work with. So then we start to get a little bit of a flow here. Like I said, it's a tough area to mess with. And if you don't take your time with it, it ends up looking pretty derpy. Will also help us maybe make that a little less wide. Just kind of stuff our arms up under there. And we will work on merging that all together eventually, of course. Gotta tweak as much as we can here, though, separately. Looking better. It's getting there. My head's pretty big right now. I'm gonna keep it large, though. Just because I tend to make heads smaller, and I need to work on reshaping this. I tend to make heads smaller than they need to be. So I'll keep it big for the time being, and then we'll mess with it later. Let's clean up some junk in the trunk. Let's see here. Ooh, my neck. So I am also going to split this off. Dynamesh it. Split it again. And then only work on one half. So it's a lot easier to only work on one half. Kyogre Ocean. That is a mouthful of a name. We're just kind of sculpting right now. We're not, you know, making anything specific. If you're popping in late, we were showing off our last sculpt. Wherever he went, there he is, good old Goobert. Right now we're just kind of sculpting and experimenting. You know what, let's do this. I don't know if you guys know how to use Spotlight, but I use it all the time. Ooh, my eye. Good old Gooby here. So we'll import some old work here. Not old, I mean I literally... Where'd texture menu go? I literally finished this yesterday. And we'll show them off a little bit. We'll put them up here in the corner. How do we scale? Scale and move. Good old Goobert. There he is. He is a sexy boy. Now we're working on a butt. So a sexy girl. Or probably not. Like I said, something for Spookoween. spooky character. I would like to do a witch. I'm gonna end up getting rid of all of this eventually. I'm just kind of trying to move it out of the way for now so that I can sculpt on top of that, this new form, and go from there. Happy Goofy came out well. I remember watching the Pixelogic stream when you started him. Awesome, man. Thank you. I have for those that are interested, I have the entire process, like every single video in a playlist on my YouTube channel if you guys are interested in seeing the full process for that. Big old playlist with multiple hours of me creating good old Goober here. What's up, Brendan? Spoopy boy. Brendan and Ariel are watching this. Brendan, Ariel, HUD boy. That's 3 people that are watching at work. Is anybody else watching at work? Who all's in? Well, it's 3, almost 4 o'clock on the East Coast here. So anybody in the US is probably at work or school or something right now. Yeah, watching in class. Tisk tisk. You guys. Nobody's paying attention. I was thinking about just deleting that. Geo. Maybe not. Maybe that'd be... Maybe I just trim it. Trim it back. Something like that. We've blocked out some planes here in the front. We'll work more on that. We will look at you later. My alt clicks are not working. Need to realign this leg. Instead of realigning the leg, maybe I can just pull the torso back. So if you've ever seen a figure or doll or anything like that, it'll have like a pretty similar shape back here. Somebody was asking about joints earlier. I'll kind of sculpt in that kind of a similar method, not with the intention of creating a joint, just for the purposes of blocking things out. And then when you're working on this, after you get closer to what you want, you can mirror it over to the other side. I'm gonna keep just blocking it out though for a while. Kind of want a straight line back here for the back side of our leg. A little bit more of a curve on the front. All block out. It's the fun part, somebody said earlier. Let's see, working at home. 2 people work at home, watching in class. VR dev with my beautiful voice in the background. Everybody's just at work. Everybody's just at work. What the heck, guys? That's why nobody was joining in on the fight earlier. We had so many people in here, but we couldn't get them to join the actual fights because your bosses were hovering over your shoulders. considering becoming a character modeler and became really inspired by your work. Well, thank you. That's awesome to hear, man. Thank you. Oh, wow, that's ugly. It's real ugly. I'll typically, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll show you guys the thing that I do with knees. After I get kind of like a basic shape, I'll merge it with my legs. Dynamesh it. Oh God, that's way too high. So I'll merge it like that, and then it'll help just like make it flow a little bit better from the top portion of the leg to the bottom. Maybe get like a little pinch in there for around the where you want that hit to take place. Breaking the silhouette there. I think you guys can probably see it. And then just kind of filling in some of this form, and then I mentioned kind of the pinching that's happening back here. You can exaggerate that to your heart's content. I think you can get some pretty cool shapes going on back here. I'll maybe try to get that to turn a little bit better with my pinch brush. Something. So that it's not looking so stupid. Start to get that to break a little bit earlier too. And then just pinch and move that. Let's see here. Like I said, I jump around a lot, so I'll just like neglect stuff completely. I'll start working on something. What I try to do, I don't do it exactly to this extent, but I try to spend like 5 to 15 minutes in one area. It's really important, I think, to not get stuck working on one thing too long. So like 5 to 15 minutes in one area, jump around to something else. Just kind of keeps your eyes fresh, so when you do get to an area where you're stuck, it's really easy for you to jump over to something else that needs your attention. Come back to that later and you'll be able to look at it with a little bit of a kind of a fresh look, fresher eyes, kind of like you're looking at it for the first time, and you'll notice all the stuff that you need to do to make changes to that area. And if you don't, what you can do is copy and paste it into Photoshop, just a screenshot, flip your canvas, or if you want, you can even mirror it here in ZBrush if you have the ability. If you're working in like Pose or something, it's really easy to do that. And then that should definitely help you out. I find that super helpful. I've done that on characters that I'm working on. Just completely mirror the whole pose, everything about it. Right. Continue to shape our legs. We've kind of been neglecting these for quite a while. Start to get some of the shape language here. I think this is your iliotibial band. I can't remember. That might... Either this is the iliotibial band or the iliotibial band is over here, but it's a form that essentially pulls across your quads and helps in creating a little bit of this plane change that I've exaggerated here so that I can start to get the form to turn that direction. And then in here you have your abductor muscles, which are essentially the muscles that I believe help kind of pull up your leg, raise your leg up in the air. You have a bunch of junk going on in there. Bunch of junk. I say junk a lot, don't I? But typically what I'll do is maybe take that line and use it to inform polygroup. Or, well, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not going to do that this time, because that'll end up being really weird, I think. So instead, let's just Z-remesh this and continue to tweak it. I just realized that that is yours, not the concept. Yeah, this is my render, my rendy-do. Yeah, he turned out really well. I like him a lot. I'll show you guys. I'll pull up the concept really quick. So this is a concept by @verticaldraws on Twitter, or Maddie C. Here's the concept, and here's the finished render. I was just leaving it up on screen so people could see our last project, since we're starting something new, and we're in the alien phase right now, as we call it. And the alien phase is not a fun phase to be in. But you gotta start somewhere. Sculpting's hard. Guys, why is sculpting so hard? Yes, the alien phase. It's true. Look at this thing. Like, anytime you start to block out planes on anything, it's like freaking ET up in here. Yeah, stick to your programming. Stick to the easy stuff. You plebe. Nobody's ever thought programming's hard. That's why I didn't go into programming. It's too easy. Too much volume in the butt, not enough in the back, and vice versa. Need more in the back to support the butt. So if you're having trouble in an area where you're starting to work on the proportions of one area, but it's just not looking right next to the other thing, try to figure out where that discrepancy is. So like if I'm going to build up the shape of this butt, I need to have a back and legs that are thick enough to support that form that I'm creating. So I can't just sit here, even though maybe the butt is proportioned correctly, which it's not right now, but if it was, it might still look, the butt might not be wrong, but it might look wrong just because other things are wrong around it. So for something like this leg, what I'll typically do is merge in like a duplicated copy, and then take that duplicated copy and dynamesh it in. Whoops. Let me delete this side. That gnat almost just flew in my mouth. Oh, come on, please, where'd you go? Damn it. I'm gonna kill this bug. That's the second gnat, like in the past week, that's been hanging out on stream. He just wants to be on camera. Okay, so temporarily merge it, dynamesh it, get rid of all the crap that you don't want, such as this. Whoops. Delete, close holes, dynamesh, whatever you gotta do. And then I'll just like smooth out that transition so it's starting to look a bit more clean. Start to work on this form more. This will start to look a little bit more natural as it blends in there, and then I can mirror and weld, figure out how I need to reshape this. But yeah, that's essentially it. Bubble butt, that's right. Let's meshitize me, Captain. Do you guys remember those creepy Captain Crunch commercials, or just like any commercial in the 90s was terrifying. Like the Crunchitize Me Captain, the Captain Crunch ones. This stream sponsored by Captain freaking Crunch now. Like those commercials, you get turned into freaking cereal. That's scary. That's scary stuff. Why would you want to be turned into cereal? So your friends can eat you? Captain Crunch was like secretly into vor? Like what was the message here? What was the marketing? I don't think it worked. I think the cereal is just like pure sugar, and that's why people bought it. That's why kids liked it. Everything you could say you created, too much junk in the trunk. Goofy has like 0 junk in his trunk. I don't want to hear it, alright? Very disproportional butt. Just animate it. Do anime characters have big butts? I don't think so, do they? I don't know. I'm not like sitting here looking at anime butts. Brendan, the heck, man? There is a vomiting unicorn, so that's fun. I didn't know that was an icon. There's a lot of fun little Twitch icons that I don't know about. I looked up the origin of Kappa the other day because I didn't know where it came from, and apparently, I'm sure all of you know this, but maybe there's like 1 or 2 who don't. Apparently, one of the lead devs working on the Twitch chat just hid in an icon of his face and made the command for it Kappa because he liked Kappas, the Japanese like turtle people is probably the best way to describe Kappas. But apparently that's where that comes from. He just like hid in his face as a secret emoticon, whatever, emoji, whatever you want to call it. And then eventually somebody discovered it. I would do the same thing if I was the dev on something. Hide in little Easter eggs. At a job I had in college, there was actually, I can't remember who it was, but they were working on a website and they had like a little hidden tiny pixel that linked to, if you clicked on it, it was like down in the corner somewhere on this website that they were developing, and they left it in there. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this out loud. But it essentially linked to this funny picture of one of the employees. A stupid picture of one of the employees. It never got discovered to my knowledge though. For the best, probably. Captain Crunch, the destroyer of roofs. Oh, the destroyer of the roof of mouths for generations. Yes. That and anything sour. Sour Patch Kids. Warheads. Warheads weren't very good. Did anybody like Warheads? I think the only reason anybody actually ate Warheads was because it was like, it was either like a manly thing to do as a little kid, or you were just like the cool kid for being able to stuff 20 warheads in your mouth. Like, wow, did you guys see what Jimmy did? He ate 20 warheads and then went to the hospital. He's so manly and dreamy. And then all the 4th graders wanted to date you. That's actually how I got my first girlfriend, was shoving 20 warheads in my mouth and then getting mouth cancer. I had to go to the hospital. It was great. What else? Sour Patch Kids, I guess. Everybody likes Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids and Skittles, they're alright. I'm more of a sweet candy guy than sour. So Sour Patch Kids have like the sour, then the sweet. So they're alright in my book. Things like Warheads, they don't even taste good. It's just like painful to eat them. Or what are the oh crap, I can't remember what they're called. The powder, like you have like a bag of powder and a stick, and you lick your stick and dip it in the powder. What is that called? Dip in something? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to remember all the old 90s candy, early 2000s candy, like Ring Pops and all that jazz. I think Ring Pops still exist, don't they? Fun Dip, that's it. Fun Dip. There was nothing fun about Fun Dip. Those sticks of sugar tasted like dirt, and then the powder is like, it was not like enjoyable to eat. I don't, maybe that's why it doesn't exist anymore. Pop Rocks were pretty good. Yeah, Pop Rocks. I'm into it. Unless you want to die, because God knows you're going to drink soda at the same time you eat Pop Rocks. That's not true. But I wish it were. I wish that if you drank soda and ate Pop Rocks at the same time, it would explode in your tongue. That'd be sweet. For probably not you, though. For the person that happens to. Yes, the Fun Dip, the Fun Dip. Oh man, I forgot about Fun Dip. What's some other ones? Do you guys remember the Baby Bottle Pops? Oh my god, Baby Bottle Pops. Oh, I remember the song. I don't remember the words, but I remember the tune. Oh, I think it was maybe set to the tune of Whip It. What's that Whip It song? I don't know. We're in uncharted territory now. I just say things and I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. So, normal conversations here on our stream. I'm gonna move these legs back because they're sticking forward really a lot. T-pose, please. Alright. The old Fanta commercials were dope. I don't remember the old Fanta commercials. Maybe, I bet if I saw one I would remember it. The thing that all those old commercials makes me think of is that Rick and Morty episode where they're just, I think it's like interdimensional TV or something like that, but they're just making fun of all those old school commercials, like the Lucky Charms one. There's like a leprechaun that, or I think it's a leprechaun, but he gets no, it's a bunny, and the kids like they like cut open his stomach and eat the cereal out of him. It's messed up, but it's really funny. But for real, you'd have to be like a super genius to understand any of the humor in Rick and Morty. So that's unfortunate. I am not a super genius, so I only understand like half of what I see in Rick and Morty. There we go. A little bit better. My mask was getting messed up because I only have this geometry on one side, and I had symmetry turned on, so it was freaking out on me. Don't you want a Fanta? Oh, that's right. That's right. You look hot in all that plaster. Drink it up faster, faster. I hope that you guys are looking these lyrics up and don't just know this off the top of your head. Please tell me that you Googled this. What's another one? What's another good one? Someone else member something for me. Membering's tough. Oh, the one that I don't know why, but I always get the oh, now I'm not gonna remember the name of it. Hold on, I'll have to like sing the song to remember the name of the board game. But I always get the song of the Perfection game stuck in my head. Pop Goes Perfection. I don't know why the theme song that they had for it. I don't know if you guys remember Perfection. It's like this older board game where put the pieces into the slot, make the right connection. You have to like put all these weird shapes in this like grid, and then if you don't do it before the time expires, they all like explode up in your face. It was a good game. And by good game, I mean I maybe played it once. I think the only reason it was purchased was because of the great theme song. I don't think there was any other board game that had like a... There's probably some like old toys that had some really catchy theme songs. I can't think of any though. Or like Bop It, they probably had something. Or just like the sound of the game alone is very memorable. You saw it once and it's ingrained in your mind forever. That's how catchy it is. It's kind of like the Steamboat Willie whistle. I've heard that maybe like twice, and I will get it stuck in my head like 10 times a day. Not actually, but I don't know why. It's just like so catchy. I think they maybe play it at the start of some like Disney films on occasion. Maybe I've heard it. So maybe I've heard it more than a few times, but it's just so dang catchy. And if I whistle, my neighbor's dogs will bark more, so I probably shouldn't do that. Oh my god, Mr. Bucket. Don't talk about Mr. Bucket. He's terrifying. Oh man. Put the, what is it? Mr. Bucket, put the balls in my mouth, Mr. Bucket. It's something like that. Or put them in my head, or some kind of nightmare fuel. Oh no. I don't want to think about it. Yes, perfection. Good old perfection and Steamboat Willie. HUD boy, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't even act like you're in the know. Kyogre Ocean had perfection. Oh wait, is that... Oh, I thought that was like Kyrogue. I think that's a Pokemon's name. I don't think that's what your name's supposed to be though. Take out his spare ribs for $100. You'll never do that. Don't touch the sides. It's always stuck in my head, but older. Is that from Operation, I guess? I do remember Operation. I don't know if you guys have seen the Sherlock show on Netflix. It's like the BBC Sherlock, I think. Maybe that's not right. But there's an episode. Whoa, what's going on? I'm trying to pull up my reference, but I cannot close that for the life of me. I need to kill the process somewhere, I guess. But in one of those episodes of Sherlock, they're just randomly, they're like talking about something, and it's not showing what they're doing with their hands. They're talking about something really serious. Sherlock and his brother, Mycroft Holmes, or Minecraft Holmes, which is now his name forever. They're talking about something really serious, and then you just see them like stabbing at a table, and then it like cuts away, and it just shows them playing Operation. I don't remember Operation being a fun game. I think I used to think that I think my sister did a lot of mean things to me when I was a kid, but I think my sister used to tell me that Operation would shock me if I touched the sides. It would like electrocute me. Or maybe that was a rumor at my school. I don't remember, but definitely something to that extent where I was terrified of playing that and actually hitting the sides. Alright, I need to pull up I pulled up my reference, but I really want to line some stuff up here. Just can't do it right now. Literally working on an Operation VR game right now for work. What? But not Operation, not like the tweezers pull out the bones, but like actual operating, probably some VR setup. That would be awesome if it was like the actual board game though. Without touching the sides or you lose. Oh no, it's literally the same as the game? That's funny. That's awesome. That's so ironic. Huh. What are the chances? Well, don't get electrocuted. What's the one VR Surgeon Simulator? That's what it's called. What's the one VR Surgeon Simulator, Ben? That game only got popular because that was a global game jam game. I actually participated the year that that game was made in one of my, I think that was maybe my first game jam that I ever did. I'm not sure if that's, I think that's true. I've done a lot since then. A lot more since then. I've not done one in quite a while though. I think I did one or two, I think I did one last year with my old roommate. But I don't think we submitted anything for the GGJ. Global Game Jam. But yeah, the only reason that game got popular, if I remember right, was because some guys from Rooster Teeth played it. It was like Gavin Free and what's his name? I can't think of it right now. It's the dude that always screams in his videos. He used to have like this angry gamer kind of channel. I don't know. Michael's his name. I can't think of his last name though. Alright. Well, I say we do one more fight here before I bounce on out of here. So we'll open up our fights here. Bam. So if you're watching on Twitch, type literally anything in the chat. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, Katie, still working on the base mannequin. And you joined in just in time for the final fight of our stream. Let's see here. All right. It'll probably do a couple like 1v1s here. So Ocean and Frosty duking it out first. See who wins this one. And while that's happening, I'm gonna save, because I don't want to forget to save. Let's see here. Who's winning? Frosty's getting his butt kicked. Of course. Alright. And let's see. I'll need to make a new folder for this, I guess. Maurice, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We'll just call this base one for now. Chicken Hawk and Ocean. See if Ocean can defend his title. I'll join in here. I'll be floating head, fighting along. I'll try to get in here on Steve, beat him up. Ooh. Are you Chicken Hawk? Oh my god, what are the freaking chances of Chicken Hawk being... I think that's supposed to be an egg. Maybe it's a flower. I thought it was an egg, though. Looks like Ocean's gonna defend their title. Sorry you lost. Alright, we're getting 3 in this next one. HUD boy, I'm so sorry. You ended up being the Friday girl, Rebecca... What's her name? Rebecca Black? Something like that. Michael Jones, thank you, Ocean, by the way. Yeah, Michael something. And after our last big fight, depending on how big we can get it, I'm gonna bounce on out of here and try to finish up my domino sculpt. I'll load it in so you guys can see what we're doing here. Who we got next? Frosty and HUD boy. Frosty's got 1 win under his belt, it looks like. Let's see. Here we go. So we're working on just our kind of blockout right now on that character that we've been just playing around with for the past couple hours. And then this is the character that I'm going to need to work on for the hair quite a bit. I haven't really figured it out, which is why I don't want to stream this, because it's going to be a lot of trial and error, and my voice is kind of hurting a little bit. So HUD boy with the win. 8 more chatters. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll say that Hudboy is the winner, though, for this fight. I think Hudboy just beat up Frosty. I don't know who that was. But you need to stop beating up on him. You're not being very nice. Alright. That was a good last fight there. Rest in pepperonis, Rebecca Black. I don't know. But yeah, here, I'm going to be working on this a little bit off of stream. And I might jump back on later tonight, depending on how much progress I make on the hair. Or we can jump back on this. I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow at some point. So if you don't already follow me on Twitter or Instagram, I typically post there if I'm going to be streaming. I don't think I posted this time, and I apologize for that, for people that maybe got in here a little late. But yeah, thank you for coming and hanging out, guys. Appreciate it. Before I go, I will just shout out my Gumroad really quick. If you guys like the stream, or if you like the free stuff that I do on here, you'll definitely like the paid content on my Gumroad that I put a lot more work into. In my most recent course that I created, there is a rendering tutorial in there, as well as my render scene. So a couple people were asking about rendering today and yesterday, so I figured I'd shout that out, that's in there. I'll probably try to split that out if you guys aren't interested in the sculpting part of the tutorial, and just make a rendering block in here by itself. And then there's also some mentorship, some brushes, materials of my own creation in here as well. But yeah, thank you guys. Definitely check that out. There's a link down below. And I will see you in the next stream, either tonight or tomorrow, probably around the same time. All right. I'll see you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And thanks for hanging out. And good job to, who was it? Hudboy for winning that last fight. Frosty won a game. And I can't remember who was our champion. I think Ocean won a game there too. I can't remember who was our king earlier on the big 9-person fight. We'll try to do another big one in the next stream. All right, see you guys. Have a great day.